He would. He would. Mistakes were made yesterday. The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me. The beast is ugly. To feel the rage, and I can't control it. It's catching in the walls, hiding in the closet halls. It comes awake, and I can't control it. And dying on the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this breaking head? Deep and deep within, beneath the skin, I must confess that I feel like a monster. I've become, that's what I've become. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. Feel like, whoa, up in me. And it's the pace that I can't control it. Cause if I let them out, it tear me up and break me down. What's there somebody? Cause if I let them out, it tear me up, bring me down. I want somebody come and save me from this breaking. I'm deep within, it makes me need the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. What can I become? This night has just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I look beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. It's like we look in the walls. Take the razor sharp. No escape from me. It wants my soul, it wants my heart. No one can hear me scream. Maybe it's just a dream. Maybe it's inside of me. Stop this monster. I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. Like I've become. What did I become? Let's just confess that I feel like a monster. I've been. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. There's something radical. I must confess that I feel like a monster. Got it. I feel like a monster. 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 Damn, son. That's called not knowing how the song goes. And I believe I was out of frame for a cool moment, but hey, it is a Sunday morning. It is a busy AF day. I am a recovering hangoverist, and this is the news of the week. Woo! Yeah, yosh. So, as always, rushing through the limits of time, pushing through, and having fun out there. We're gonna try to keep it short, trying to keep it easy. I have places I have to be. I gotta go flip burgers ASAP, and it's one of my little one's birthdays, so good stuff out there. Turning 12 this year, because they'll be 13 next year. The youngest. God damn. I'll tell a quick story about this one. I believe when this one was being birthed by my sister, I was actually in line for Assassin's Creed 3. And that's one of my funnest little touchstones for this little fucker, because while my bitch ass teenager was waiting in line for my Glacier White PlayStation Vita and Assassin's Creed Liberation bundle, this little fucker was struggling to be born. So with all that in mind, and with that miracle of life scarring us each and every day, let's enjoy yourselves and be cool and be happy about this awesome Sunday. It has been a wild ride. If you guys kept up with the interwebs, your boy was out there prancing around Saturday night, Ever. And yeah, actually a lot of fun. Lots of cool stuff. Met some people, had some fun out there, drank some things, had some party, and we're back. The results of my efforts to broken Wolverine claws. So good stuff. it went great. So with all that being said, thanks for being cool, and thanks for joining us, and thanks for just always giving me the time that I needed. This month has been hectic. I love the spoopy season. I'd rather not call it Halloween because it feels very anti what I want it to be. So spoopy season is a fun one because it's supposed to be scary, but I ain't afraid of no ghost. So with all that being said, it's your boys, Ookami Sausage, to EXP626. So we're gonna wish the homeboy goodbye. It's been good. Need to sober up. We're gonna blast through this new segments as we like to do. So, and they're done, my friend. Go watch that that blood stain. Get your stain. So let's jump in, shall we? And I'm feeling good for heaven. Ladies and gentlemen, it's true. It is true. It has been found. We have solved Final Fantasy's biggest skip ever. Lets you, quote unquote, save Aerith without cheats. I love these little fucking figures. Hell yeah. I wish I could buy them. Oh shit, I did buy a Tifa figure. Hell yeah. There's been a massive breakthrough in the world of Final Fantasy VII. This is by Ethan Gotch over in Kotaku. Good to see you, buddy. Massive breakthrough in the world of Final Fantasy VII. Not the new remakes for PlayStation 5, but the original 1997 game. The new skip makes it possible to jump right to Aerith's death, earlier than players had expected. She will still die in pivotal scenes, but players can keep her in the party. Afterward, hell yeah. The discovery has fascinating repercussions, not just for speedrunning, but also fans' obsession with Final Fantasy's iconic flower girl. It's true. It gets scary out there. Stay out of the X. The Twitters. Twitter used to be a nice place. Stay away from the X. Normally, players only encounter Final Fantasy VII's infamous death scene until the end of Disc 1, after many hours journeying through the world. However, speedrunners recently found a way to skip it much earlier in the game by bypassing an entire 2 hours and shaking up playthroughs of decades-old RPGs in the process. A clip of discovery in action was recently shared on Twitter by speedrunner Luzbel via Eurogamer. It's just he goes around a map and he walks through and he ends up skipping. Quote, the biggest skip of this game has been discovered, and not only is it interesting because it allows you to skip almost entirely of Disc 1, but it also allows you to save Aerith for the rest of the game, which means that it's the first time in the video history of this game in regional console version where we can save Aerith without using any cheats. Sugoi. Luzbel says in the clip. A trick found by fellow speedrunners, Asaphir and Kuma Luzbel, revolves around manipulating how the game stores and tracks Terran data by repeatedly dismounting and mounting and dismounting Chocobo shortly after leaving Midgard for the first time. This complex process makes it possible for Cloud in the overworld to walk across the ocean and arrive at the city of Ancients, where the fateful events with Aerith unfold. With scenes of Sephiroth killing her still play out, thank you guys, as normal, Aerith can also still be used in the player's party. If she joins the fight immediately following her death, the game will softlock. But if she's held back, she can be kept in reserve until... If she joins the fight immediately following her death, the game will softlock. But if she's held back, she can be kept in reserve until after that section. When players can begin using her again, she won't have an interaction with the story, but Aerith can remain a companion for the rest of the game. While players have long since discovered other ways of making this happen in various versions of the game, what's notable is that speedrunners found a way to do this in the console version without using cheats. One snag is that using this trick means getting to the end of Disc 1 while only around level 8 or 9, and facing enemies much stronger, including a Genova boss fight that would normally lay waste to such an under-leveled team. As one player notes, however, a water ring found in the lead up to that fight will nullify the boss's attacks for at least one party member, making it possible to get through the fight. Interesting. Speedrunners looking to keep moving through the game quickly will likely need to come up with another strategy, Lozbel said. The group is currently working on optimizing the groundbreaking skip and documenting it in more detail for others to try. That is cool. That's very cool, because that's like Final Fantasy VII is like one of my favorites. It's a very sentimental time, sentimental moment in our history as well, because it's of that jump from the analog to the digital in terms of disc, or at least we're still on CD, so analog still counts actually, but like jumping from technologies and bringing new technologies to the video game spectrum, which would eventually bring us down this path where we're overinflated and overbloated. But hey, Sonic's Generation is a fucking badass game. So, moving on. Moving to talk again. I believe I've waited long enough. Where do I begin? Learning to talk again. Let's jump over to the anime side of things, because I really wanted something anime. Report. Japan's online video industry grow 45% of total screen revenue by 2029. Good lord, 2029. I will be... I'll keep that to myself. As media partners, Asia estimate... Oh, this is by Anita Tai over at Anime News Network. The media partners, Asia, but I'll be in my young 30s. The media partners, Asia, MPA consulting and research firm predicted a new report titled, quote, "The Future of Japan's Video Industry," on Tuesday, that Japan's online video industry will grow 7% compound annual growth rate over the next 5 years. Ooh. We're talking accounting. Ooh. Japan's online. I took accounting in high school, advanced accounting, but I got expelled right before I got my little diploma thing. Japan's online video industry will account for 45% of total screen revenue by 2029, including free TV, pay TV, and theatrical, compared to 35% in 2024. According to the report estimated that Japanese video industry total revenue will grow from US $31.8 billion in 2024 to US $34.1 billion by 2029. Jesus. $3 billion jump. The report predicts revenue for online video industry will reach an estimated US $15.3 billion by 2029, due to, in large part, to user-generated content and social videos on YouTube. Streaming content from providers like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Unext follow behind. Interesting. The free user-generated content makes more than fucking all these investments. God damn. The report estimated the anime industry earned US $2.5 billion in Japan in 2023 through monetization on TV, streaming, and theatrical. The anime industry accounted for more than 8% of the total screen industry revenue in that country. The report added streaming accounting for half of the monetization for anime in 2023, followed by TV at 27%. MPA stated that for the first 9 months of 2024, anime also accounted for 36% of premium video on demand engagement. Japanese anime was also responsible for 117 of the top 200 titles on SVOD platforms the first 9 months of 2024 in Japan. Financial research firm Teikoku Databank found in a report on the anime production industry for 2023 on August 27 that the value of the anime production industry based on 317 companies was at 339 billion, right? 20 million yen, about 22.36 billion. In 2023, a 22.9 growth from 2022's to God damn it, 190 billion in current conversion. All right. Here's where things get tricky. Here's where things get spooky tricky, because this is great, right? This is amazing. We continue to witness anime, manga, Japanese, media be consumed by the world, and that's great. It creates inclusion, it invites different cultures, it promotes acceptance, right, between the countries, and that's great. We love that. We need more of that, I think. And just the idea that anime is this massive medium, not a genre. It is a medium to present your stories, your ideas, your dreams, your visions, like a video game. Vroom, vroom. However, what spooks me, because it's spooky season, is when people like this, Crunchyroll, Sony, Amazon, Netflix, free generated content starts to get labeled or it starts to get sales tagged. What I mean by that is they start labeling, implementing pricing on, I'm making so much money right now. Oh, we're gonna be so good in the future. And it's like, dude, yes, that's just the way of things. Do you ever hear about technology and how our technology expands double, every day or whatever? Bro, it's gonna happen. Be cool. Stop fucking monetizing everything. Hot Topic doesn't need more fucking printed shirts, unless it's that sick ass Kingdom Hearts Organization 13 fucking jacket that I lost at the My Chemical Romance concert in 2020. Fuck, what shit year was that? 2021? I don't know. Man, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy. I'm glad. This is coming from the guy who fucking had to take 2 buses to get to the anime shop that I wanted. The only anime shop that had the legit Japanese imported merchandise. There was one back in my day. Now you walk anywhere, you can find that fucking Spencer's, you can find a Hot Topic, you can find that any bullshit because it's commercialized. And that's great. That's fun. That's cute. Don't get horny. Stop it. Fucking stop fucking seeing numbers. Stop fucking putting your big ass thumb on the fucking label maker and trying to just fucking charge up the ass out of everything. Because again, Japan's economy fucking dog shit right now. It's shit. And I worry about them so bad. At any point, it could just implode. Not saying that we have any better in America, but seeing their yen really take the hit bothers me, because the people making this shit, the people busting ass to produce blood, sweat, and tears on that desk overnight, those people don't see that growth, that inflation. Don't make this harder on them. That's all there is to it. Take care, please. Amazon, Netflix, take care of the people who you're outsourcing to make the shows for you. At least when 4Kids did it, they had the balls to write their own music openings, and goddamn, they were bangers. Dreaming. Yosh. Moving on. Because what happens in the future when all this is gone? Well, apparently the court gets to decide. Video Game History Foundation disappointed in DMCA decision that won't grant exemptions for researchers. Thank you, guitar. The U.S. Copyright Office has declined to grant a new exemption to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act that would allow. This is from Rebecca Valentine over at IGN. Declined to grant a new exemption to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which will allow libraries and archives to offer remote digital access to out-of-market video games for verified researchers. Oh, that would have been dope. The proposed amendment, which we wrote extensively about back in May, was championed by the Software Preservation Network, SPN, as critical for the game preservation. The group argues that due to the equipment, technological, and supply limitations, the lack of digital ability of out-of-market games is a massive hindrance to researchers and academics who may not live near a library that has a physical copy or needed game available to check out. However, groups such as the ESA oppose the amendment, claiming it would harm companies' ability to make money off retro games. In fact, one ESA lawyer argued that there was no combination of limitations ESA members would support to provide remote access. In May, we reached out to every member of the ESA for comment on this matter, but only one received but only received one response back. In the end, the Copyright Office sided with ESA, stating that SPN did not show that removing the single user limitation for preserved computer programming or permitting off-premises access to video games are likely to be non-infringing. End quote. That doesn't mean the exception is dead. There will be an opportunity to try again in the years, and the Copyright Office's responses do seem to invite them to do so. She recommends clarifying the single copy restriction language to reflect that preservation institutions can allow a copy of the computer program to be accessed by as many individuals as there are circumvented copies legally owned. This clarifying text will address the perceived ambiguity in the current exemption, while maintaining the single user limitations intended purpose to minimize the risk of substantial users of preserved computer programs. End quote. So she's recommending that they reword their statement so it can become more legally binding. This is very important when it comes to like legality terms and what it means to actually fucking be a lawyer. We're not dying fighting here. In fact, the Video Game History Foundation, which worked together with the SPN on proposed amendment, has issued a statement expressing pride in the work advocacy groups did throughout the process, and indicating it's not giving up. Well, we're not done here. Quote, we will continue our advocacy for greater access and legal allowances for video game preservation and working with members of the game industry to increase internal awareness around these issues. We encourage members of the game industry who are disappointed by the Copyright Office's decision to ask their leadership to push for greater support for the work of libraries and archives within their industry groups. The Video Game History Foundation published a study last year revealing that only 13% of classic video game published in the US are currently in release. 87% currently unavailable. God damn. That is a depressing statistic. Holy shit, we already lost the match. Yes, sir, Ritos. That's what matters most, is that we try. That we keep on going. Because I love video games. I love video games so much. I love technology. And it's important to have these touchstones, these moments to reflect upon, these technological improvements to inspire us, to remind us of what we had to go through to get to this point. History, quite simply, is beautiful and deserves to be preserved. And if we can't do that, then how do we ever learn? How do we ever improve? Be better? Please. Legality system. Send that orange back to jail. Whoosh. Because, si no, what hope? If Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown can't survive in 2024, what hope does this industry have? This is by Ben Sledged over at The Gamer. Many people have already forgotten about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, despite the fact that it's one of the best platformers released this year. Ubisoft hasn't forgotten about it, but instead of rewarding the team behind it for creating a unique entry in the iconic series, it has disbanded it. Fuck. For what reason? The Lost Crown was critically lauded. It achieved an impressive 86 on Metacritic and 87 on OpenCritic, and players seem to love it too. The problem is, there weren't enough players. What went wrong for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown? Estimates in February suggested that around 300,000 players bought The Lost Crown in its first month. That was us. We played it like on stream. We streamed it, like the week that it came out. I was watching Kind of Funny, and they really recommended to try Prince of Persia, and Tim Getty is a person who I respect immensely, and his opinions I are heavily weighted, in my opinion. And yeah, dude, it's one of the fucking greatest games in this year. But we'll get back to that. In its first month, with what numbers? Anyway, I was just trying to say go watch our stream playthrough because it was fucking good. Please. Very low use Ubisoft standards. Considering Power World. Seems like a big number, and it's very low by Ubisoft standards. Considering Power World sucked in millions during the same time period, you can see why Ubisoft executives can't a sequel. But that doesn't make it fair. The games industry is rapidly heading towards a world where big studios release one multi-billion-dollar game a decade, putting all their eggs in one pixelated basket. And I'm sure GTA 6 will be good, and will make back its eye-watering budget in a matter of days. But not every game can or should take the same risk. If a game of that size flops, it can break an entire studio. Ubisoft has seen this with Star Wars Outlaws, and was clearly worried about the same thing happening with Assassin's Creed Shadows, hence the last-minute delay. For a smaller game, though, it should be less an issue, especially when that game is a banger. I like this guy. I like this place. The game's pretty cool. We don't know what the Lost Crown budget was, nor do we know how much money it made. Estimates suggest that it earned around 15 million sales, but with no knowledge of costs, we can tell that its number puts it in black or red. But I can tell you that it won't have had a budget anywhere near Outlaws and Shadows, and therefore any losses won't have been as devastating for the company. It's all relative, but corporations expect games to earn millions in seconds. There's no room for modern success in modern games. We need the middle class back. God damn it, governments. We need to fucking implement social programs to promote the middle class, to fucking create the dream, motherfuckers. Damn it. History is doomed to repeat itself. We've seen this happen time and time again. Remember Hi-Fi Rush, another great game focused on mechanics that told a brilliant story that was released early in the year and soon after abandoned by executives. Thankfully, many of the developers of this lovely little game were saved by Krafton, amen, along with the Hi-Fi IP, so the chances of a sequel are possible. There's no hope for those who worked on the Lost Crown. While we haven't heard of any layoffs for once, in all likelihood, this team will be put to work on polishing Assassin's Creed Shadows ahead of the launch. That makes sense. Or designing a new operator for X Defiant. A much more worthy... Son of a bitch. Fuck out of here, Green Day. Nobody fucking likes you. Fuck. Jesus. Gonna get copyrighted again. Fucking Green Day. Oh my god. Never win with this guy. Okay. Alright, we'll go back to Foo Fighters. Fuck. Well, we haven't heard. Jesus Christ. Much more worthy cause than creating smaller and more innovative games that push genre boundaries and breathe new life into classic properties. I want to point it out real quick that I didn't know that was a Green Day song. I just heard the guitar and I was like, that's a fucking Green Day song. Alright. Not every small team will have a massive corporation spell it out. And what happens if two Rush bombs? As developers are still beholden to an enormous company that expects enormous profits from every title. Gone are the days where studios could pepper the neat schedules with neat AA titles in between. Sorry. Maximize. There we go. That works. Titles in between the big releases. Ubisoft doesn't care about creating a legacy of beloved gems. It just wants to maximize profits with monumental release and live service sludge. Doesn't matter if those big releases are generic and receive middling review scores. Not really. Because people will pre-order the collection edition before they know if it's good or not. That's me. But hey, fuck. This isn't sustainable, especially for a company with the pedigree of Ubisoft. Why been your first game to earn an average of over 80 since 2020's Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope? Why not seize the live service addictions to Skull and Bones, a game that was doomed to fail after its decades of development hell, rather than shudder your chances at a more financially successful successor to a well-received game? Prince Bridget Lost Crown deserve better than this. The game industry deserves better than this. A fucking man. Man, there's not even much to talk about. I think I've said what I need to say. This game really deserved a lot more. It gave me hope that they were actually on their path to do something good, like improving, being cool, doing their own shit. And this just fucking shot that to the ground. So, what do we have to look for at Ubisoft besides I'm not even looking forward to Assassin's Creed. I will buy it. I will get the collector's edition because it's Japan, but god damn, man. It's even that just feels empty to say out loud. And I'm like seconds away from canceling that collector's edition because it's not even worth it. God damn. But hey, I'm getting the Hidden Blade, so don't worry about that. I got that. Anyways, I love Assassin's Creed, but fuck you, Ubisoft, and fuck corporations who don't give a shit about the people, just want to fucking look at the numbers and be little fuckers and fucking bitch about the races and the percentages and little fucking shit fuckers. Sorry, fuck those guys. Because what the hell's going on with Ubisoft? It is by Tamar Hussein, Lucy James, Jessica Coswell, and Tom Caswell, son of a bitch. Love those guys. Over at GameSpot. Earlier this week. Let's put some little background music. Fucking love. I'm just kidding. Earlier this week, news broke that Ubisoft, the company behind Assassin's Creed, Just Dance, and Far Cry series, had undergone a notable internal shift. Despite its most recent entry in Prince of Persia franchise, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, earning rave reviews, the studio announced it had effectively disbanded the team behind it. The Lost Crown senior producer, Abel Haq El-Guis, confirmed to the news to GameSpot, stating that, quote, most of the team members who worked on Prince of Persia: Lost Crown have shifted to other projects that will benefit from their expertise, end quote. Though El-Guis added that this does not mark the end of Ubisoft's work in the series, it seems likely that the former developers will not be reuniting for a sequel. This is the latest in a series of frustrating moves by the game company, which also made a number of last-minute changes to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, has offered no news on games like Splinter Cell Remake, Beyond Good and Evil 2. This week on GameSpot, I need a new paragraph, buddy. This week on GameSpot on, Tam and Lucy discussed the studio's latest choices and what it means for the future. Spot on Fridays, blah 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 blah. Good job, Lucy. On Fridays, hang out with them. Thank you. I thought we were gonna have more about that, but hey, it's true. So GameSpot not having a good time with that, or not having a good time with Ubisoft's editions. People who are more deeper in the industry and have more of an idea or word of what's going on. But hey, Godspeed. As we get to the point, to the nick, to the whole shebang. What the fuck is going on? Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella gets $30 million pay raise amid year of massive gaming layoffs. And that's after he took a voluntary pay cut. This is by Rebecca Valentine, back over in IGN. The CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, is getting a pay raise, a $30 million one. According to the proxy filing published earlier this week and spotted by NBC, fucking mouse, Nadella's compensation for the fiscal year 2024 totaled $79,106,183. $2.5 million was his base salary. $71.24 million was stock awards. Holy shit. That's investing in like all the game industry stuff, huh? And $5.2 million was non-equity incentive plan compensation. Equity, canceled projects. Fuckers. And the rest was a mixture of other types of compensations. This is significantly higher than last year, when Nadella's compensation totaled $48.5 million. While Nadella's base salary remained flat between years, he saw a massive jump in the past fiscal year in stock awards, going from $39.24 million last year to $71.24 million this year. Fuck. It's almost double. Per the filing, the ratio of total annual consumption of Nadella to the median employee at Microsoft was 408 to 1. Notably, the filing points out that this number actually incorporates Nadella's taking a pay cut. The cash incentive portion of his pay was reduced at Nadella's own request due to a security breach in 2023, where a Chinese espionage group hacked government email accounts through Microsoft. Per the filing, without this reduction, Nadella's non-equity incentive plan compensation would have totaled 10.66 million instead of 5.2 million. Since the board of directors appointed Mr. Nadella as the third chief executive officer in its history in 2014, Microsoft has nearly tripled revenue, 24.1 billion, nearly quadrupled net income to 88.1 billion, and more than quadrupled diluted earnings per shares to 11.1108. The filing reads, in addition to another year of consistently strong financial performance, Mr. Nadella and his leadership team have positioned Microsoft to continue to drive performance for years to come. End quote. Microsoft's 2024 fiscal year took place from July 2023 to June 2024. During that period, the company acquired Activision Blizzard for $69 billion at a point that celebrated in the Microsoft's filing. However, the company also laid off 1,900 staff from its gaming workforce. In early January, a few months later, it closed Redfall developer Akane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and laid off others within Bethesda. And already, this quarter, Microsoft has laid off another 650 gaming staff in a move which Xbox head Phil Spencer attributed directly to the acquisition. Microsoft's first quarter earnings for fiscal 2025 will take place next week, providing an update on the company as a whole as well as the gaming division. Microsoft has been doing well on the strength of Azure, Cloud, Office, and its other divisions, and the Activision Blizzard acquisition office has provided a significant boost to gaming revenue. However, hardware sales have been dipping over the last year, a problem also faced by Xbox rivals, and non-Activision Blizzard content sales have been relatively flat over the last year. So, what the fuck is going on? Well, by the looks of it, A, my time is up, people are outside, and B, stocks. It's the stocks. Because they're all fucking playing game ball with their fucking 45 base million pay, and they all have the inside scoop on the news of like what's making, what's being developed, what they're producing, what they're gonna make. And yeah, they fucking have what's the word? Portfolios that give you shit, it's too many people. That give you basically like folders of stock compiled, and someone is in charge of that and takes care of that for him. And Jesus Christ, when does it fucking end, man? So let's not focus on the problem, because we know what the problem is. Let's try focusing on a solution. And well, I don't got that on me right now. I ain't that guy. Maybe. But what worries me about the anime industry getting big, what worries me about the video game industry being huge, is the more mainstream something gets, the more the power hungry people are attracted to it. And everyone deserves to have fun. Everyone deserves to enjoy the simplicities of life, right? But when you're so fucking power hungry that the minimal isn't good enough, or what's good enough for the average Joe, it is scoffed at by a 408-to-1 salary making motherfucker. 400 people are roughly just under the value of this one person. And I call bullshit. So you can fuck off. But we'll save that discussion for later. Oh. Woo! Because Microsoft CEO sees Xbox games will continue to extend to other platformers. No thanks. Not that far. Okay, we got this. It looks like Microsoft's strategy of bringing Xbox exclusives to other platforms will continue beyond 2024. That is, according to a letter from Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella that was sent to shareholders and colleagues before sharing on LinkedIn. Fuck LinkedIn. In his annual letter, Nadella affirmed that Microsoft's multi-platform strategy isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In a section dedicated to discussing Microsoft gaming wins, including its advancements in its Xbox claiming initiative, Nadella had this to say.
Finally, we brought our own 400 fan-favorite title to Nintendo Switch on full new platforms for the first time, as we continue to extend our new content to new platforms.
And naturally, the letter does not expand upon what this means to extend Xbox content, that would again be inferred that more games will make their way to the platforms over time. As for what those games will be, well, that's where things can get complicated. As it stands, Call of Duty will still be a multi-platform title for some time, and has already been revealed that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be launching on PS5 in the spring of 2025. But outside of that, anyone's guess is as good as it gets. Surely Starfield would make some sense at some point, and it would be something like Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, but only time will tell what does come. Another noteworthy nugget from Nella's letter is that the fact that Microsoft revealed it has 20 franchises that generate over $1 billion in lifetime revenue. Of those 20 franchises, Nella lists only 6. Candy Crush, fucking bitch. Diablo, Halo, World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls, Gears of War, certainly Call of Duty has to be one of those franchises. And Forza's long-standing history could have led to massive revenue. So already focusing on 1 billion. If it doesn't make 1 billion, it doesn't make him profit, and then he doesn't get his fucking pay raise. Fucking piece of shit. Without knowing for sure, 14 other franchises under Microsoft's umbrella have been made some serious bang for the mega corporation. Either way, the full letter, which can be found here, is an interesting read, not only as it pertains to gaming, but as Microsoft as a whole. Man, we're fucked. I hate to be that guy, but like, goddamn. It's just shitty, man. Because Prince of Persia, right? You're telling me if it doesn't make a billion, it's not worth a franchise? You gotta fucking calm the fuck down, people. These numbers don't mean shit. These fucking green pieces of paper with lint combined into it don't mean shit. Jesus. It's the life we spend with the people we love. Do it for Latina Sonic. Sonic said Shadow's generation sells 1 million units on launch day. Sega reveals. Shedding light on the situation. By Ryan Dimsdale over at IGN. Sonic said Shadow Generations had already sold 1 million units, Sega has announced, despite only coming out today, October 25th. Being a souped-up remake of 2011 Sonic Generations didn't slow down the blue bird on the sales front, with the figure covering worldwide sales on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Alongside the remake portion comes Shadow Generations, a brand new chunk of gameplay similar to how Super Mario 3D World was enhanced by Bowser's Fury in Nintendo Switch's remake. Hey, that's what I said. Sonic and Shadows, quote, is a Generations. It's a title that combines 2 games, Sonic Generations, where players can enjoy speedrunning rare stages and classic Sonic, modern Sonic, enhanced new elements, and Shadow Generations, a completely new game with featuring dark hero Shadow racing through dynamic variants. The official synopsis reads: the story begins with a mysterious creature called the Time Eater, creates a distortion in time and space, setting off separate adventures for Sonic and Shadow. Players can look forward to high-speed action adventures, distinct gameplay experiences, and narratives. End quote. The game has reviewed well critically too. Sonic X Shadows Generation takes an already excellent game and spring jumps it to new heights with creative Shadow campaign and an appreciable graphical upgrade. Amen. IGN 10 and 9 out of 10 review. Shadow X Shadows Generation is the latest hit for Sega. Atlas developed RPG Metaphor Refantasio sold 1 million copies on launch day. So yeah, selling well, looking good. We actually were able to sit down and blast through this segment. It's Shadow Generations took 4 hours, about roughly, to complete, and that is with my bullshit of running around, hanging around, and dying. So it was a great time. I said it really brought forward like interesting ways to interact with the environment while also sticking to its Sonic origins and fully realizing that 3D interactive gameplay that I myself had never fully understood. But playing Shadow Generations, holy crap, that shit is good, and I need more. Yosh. So, with that being said, if you haven't checked that one out, please go ahead and check that one out. It's your boy actually did that one over here. And I think we did well for I think I'm a pretty good platformer. I grew up on platformers, so I take a little bit of pride in that. So we'll see how that ends up. But let me know what you think down below. Moving on. Exploring around through the speed of sound. From the Sonic movies to Amazon's Like a Dragon drama series, how Sega is bringing its games to the screen. So let's see how the future of Sega is transitioning into the TV space. Sega has found great success with its series of Sonic the Hedgehog movies. So much that it has inspired the company to more actively pursue big and small screen adaptations of its treasure trove of game franchises. Next up is Like a Dragon Yakuza, an Amazon original series based on the first game of the beloved series, which launches on October 29th, and Sega has plans to do even more. During Gamescom in Asia, IGN Japan sat down with Justin Scapone, global head of transmedia at Sega, whose resume includes 17 years of working with games and entertainment at Disney, who joined Sega in April 2024. From adaptations of Shinobi and Golden Axe to early forays into the theme park space, Scarpone gave us a lowdown on Sega's plans to reach the new audiences away from the game's console. Quote, "The Like a Dragon franchise is one of our core pillars," Scarpone said when we asked how the new series was conceived. "We released the live-action film years ago, but I think the new series came about originally through conversation between the Amazon Studios folks and our Like a Dragon studio. It became a cross-pitch Pacific project where you had talent in both the US and Japan working on the project. It's obviously filmed in Japan with Japanese talent, but leveraging some of the creativity that an overseas perspective brings. So, it's a unique project for us." End quote. That's pretty cool. Streaming TV has been a great home for episodic dramas set in Japan, with Shogun breaking records. Oh, that's why you did it, huh? Fucking stupid ass. Breaking records in awards season, and Tokyo Vice showing shocking sides of Japan's fictionalized criminal underworld. Scarpone said the success of these shows has been encouraging as Amazon prepares to launch the new Like a Dragon series. Quote, "Like a Dragon is a very Japanese story, but it's also very universal," he said. "And one of the differences between the previous live-action film and its new drama being shown in Prime Video is that in the years since the film came out, the Like a Dragon series has become much of a global franchise. And we have an international team who are considering from day one how to make compelling stories set in Japan with universal themes and resonate in different cultures." End quote. He says the dev team at the Ryuga Toki Studio have been supportive of the Prime Video show, which is partly based on the original game, but will tell its own original story. Masayoshi Yokoyama has been quite supportive of the series, end quote, said Scapone. And as a truly creative individual, he's seeking very interesting interpretation of the IP he lives and breathes, and he is very happy with the quality and the output. I think he's excited to see somebody else's perspective on it, end quote. Carry on. We have an international team who are considering day one. Okay. The Dragon Game series has a setting to balance heavy crime suspense dramas with more humorous themes tied to gameplay. The Amazon show seems to be leaning more towards the former, but when considering a game of storyline that is dozens of hours long into a TV show, it must be difficult to choose which elements to embrace and which ones to leave out. Quote, "In the format of a series where you have about 5 hours storytelling, how can you tell a compelling, exciting, dramatic, and concise story?" Scarpone pondered. "Some of the games in the series you could pay for over 80 hours, which gives you a lot more flexibility to weave in other aspects of the characters than you have in a condensed linear format. So I think the director, the actors, and the screenwriters of the Amazon show needed to make the judgment call on how to tell the best story within the confines of that time." Quote, "The game series evolved over time, so if this Amazon series were to have a sequel, I think we could also experiment. The series hopefully will have a good starting point in that format. Maybe There'll be more in the future. Okay. Sega has had a huge success with the live-action outings for its mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Hedgehog. Since 2020, Paramount Pictures has released 2 hit movies and a TV spin-off, with a 3rd movie landing in December and adding Keanu Reeves to its voice cast. Whoa. Quote, we have seemingly come to think of this period as the last decade or so as a renaissance of Sonic. Amen, Scarponi told us. There are a lot of stops and starts to try to bring Sonic to the silver screen. It didn't happen overnight, but once we were locked in and working on the first film, it was really Sega's entry point into transmedia. And thinking of Sonic as a franchise and the way companies like Disney and Universal and Warner Brothers have always done for decades. Quote, we're offering new stories and new ways to experience the characters in different media. And so, with Sonic, the film really expanded what Sonic could be in the eyes of the fan. Probably a lot of people inside of Sega as well. Indeed, in an interview with IGN in 2022, Sonic Frontiers director Mori Kishimoto told us that the success of Sonic movies had inspired him and Sonic team while making the games. Sega also has multiple other screen adaptations of its games in the pipeline, including versions of a series that have been dormant for decades. One is Shinobi, which has both a game and a live-action adaptation in the works. The film is being produced together with Universal, which made the smash hit Super Mario Bros. Movie, directed by Sam Hargrave. Scorboni confirmed to us it's still in the early stage of development. Classic series Golden Axe is coming back, both as a game and an animated series for Comedy Central. Streets of Rage movie has also been announced, with a script by John Wick creator Derek Colsalt. One of these adaptations of older Sega franchises, Scarponi said, quote, our core pillars are franchises like Sonic, Like a Dragon, Persona, Angry Birds really, but our so-called legacy initiative is really exciting because while these stories have foundation, we have a lot more new storytelling to work on, which is really cool. As we reboot some of the franchises, it's important for us to really work on the ground, work on the lore, to update for younger generations who weren't even alive when Sega Genesis was around. Good lord, it's true. Scarponi also confirmed that Sega had multiple other screen adaptations in early stages of development, but would not share which games these unannounced projects are based on just yet. And it doesn't just stop at screen adaptations. In recent years, Nintendo has had great success with its theme parks at Universal Studios, while other games such as Monster Hunter and Resident Evil have been reimagining its as excellent theme parks. Attractions in Japan. Sega is an old hand in the business, with its Joy Palace and other entertainment centers. Scarponi said Sega is keen to expand on this, offering the example of its coming collaboration with the Kai Tai Sports Park Mall, currently under construction in Hong Kong. With that complex, we're going to have a Sonic Stadium, which is a destination for families, children, and children in particular, as a ticketed area where you can be immersed in the world of Green Hills and Sonic and Friends. Hell yeah. Quote, what Nintendo has done with Universal Studios is the gold standard, and we have similar aspirations. Attractions are another format that tell our stories and delight our fans, and we really want to be in that space. We're not launching our own standalone theme park. We are looking into different partnerships. Hell yes. That's awesome. That's very awesome. That's, again, it's like a renaissance, right? We're in the zone where you're getting a point where the games are so immersive, big, and making so much revenue, and now everybody is interested. And while that could be a terrible thing, right, as we speak in our last articles, the positive, I guess, if we want to be cool about it, is that we get to a point where, yes, we are now seeing attractions for anime, for video games. We're seeing movies. We're seeing the media transcend video games and become its own, not its own thing, yeah, but like it's oh nice, reaching the other mediums and like hitting its stride. So very cool because, you know, I love video games. I love stories. Sonic is one of the first ever games that I booted up when I was younger. I was born and the old man had a Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, and a Sega Genesis. And that blast processor fucking was my first interaction with the interacting with the ADD, and then like just seeing how fast those screens were panning and how intense things were happening was everything. And yeah, that's crazy to think that my nephew, who's both of them who were being celebrated this month, would never have had the chance to hold a Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge if it weren't for me collecting that shit and being like, hey, this is Sega Genesis. So, man, video game preservation is important. Very important. I think it's universally, pun intended, important that we preserve these things, and we have a place of reference to look back and be like, hey, you see that is the shit back in the day. That's where we come from. That's what we have gone through, and this is where we're going. And yeah, theme parks are kind of that, in a more of a, hey, this is who we are, and let's celebrate what we've done type of deal. So if we're asking ourselves why everyone's so horny about the numbers, and the end result is Sonic theme park attractions, then I guess things aren't so bad after all. But hey, they are pretty bad. But you gotta take it's the little things that make things count, Sonic. So let's end things on a positive note. Thank you for hanging out. Let's give it one more shot. I was distracted by the licorice recoil. Fair enough. Alright, last one on the list for today. Tetsuya Chiba becomes first manga creator to be honored with Japan's Order of Culture. This is by Crystalline Hodgkins over at Anime News Network. Ashita no Joe manga creator states he feels great sense of responsibility with honor. The Japanese government honored Ashita no Joe. That's the damn it. What was it? Gearbox? Megalobox. There you go. Yeah. Manga creator Tetsuya Chiba on Friday with this prestigious Order of Culture award. Tetsuya is the first manga creator to receive the honor. The order is awarding those who have made outstanding contributions in developing Japanese culture. Chiba stated in a blog post. Actually, let me get some water. Sorry, I'm dying over here. No, we'll finish it. Stated in a blog post since I'll die. Chiba stated in a blog post, since now such an honor also includes the world of manga, he feels a great sense of responsibility as a representative of the industry. He stated he feels the creative work of all manga creators have been recognized with the award. He added he hopes the manga will continue to become an aspect of Japanese culture loved by all people all around the world. He also thanked the original authors, publishers, editors, booksellers, and all those involved in the production and publication of manga. Goat. What a goat. Chiba debuted as a manga creator in 1956. He is perhaps best known for his Ashita no Joe, Tomorrow's Joe, boxing manga, which ran from 1968 to 1973. Has remained a mainstay in Japanese popular culture for 2 decades. The manga inspired 2 television anime in 1970 and 1980, as well as 2 anime films in 1980 and 1981. Most recently, the manga story was reimagined in a new sci-fi setting with new characters in 2018's Megalobox anime, which credits the original manga as its origin. Yep. Sequel series from Megalobox 2, Nomad, premiered in April 2021. Ashita no Joe will get its first official English release under the title Ashita no Joe Fighting for Tomorrow, starting in December. Wow. Interesting. Chiba was nominated to the Japan Art Academy in 2022 as one of its first 2 manga creators, along with Yoshiharu Tsuge. He is also currently the president of Japan Cartoonist Association. Chiba is 85 and had heart surgery to put a stent in his coronary artery. Damn. In January 2022. Chiba noted in a blog post on Friday They also recently had eye surgery. His Hinemosu Notari Nikki manga is ongoing, but has also been on hiatus since August. Alright. Thanks, Any Manga Anime. Updating from about English release. Cool. Wow. Hinemosu Notari Nikki. Something about a diary. So cool, man. Just wanted to put that one out there. I'm not really too sure what's going on, but the fact that it's Japanese culture itself is honoring a manga creator, and maybe the spirit of the Japanese spirit and what it means to fight diligently and fight for something you believe in. So Godspeed, and happy birthday whenever his birthday happens. Congratulations to you, G-Sun, and Godspeed. Yep. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it seems we are done for today. Yes, it's true. My time is up. People are outside waiting, and I'm feeling bad now. But all that matters is that we have had a good weekend. And I hope you too take care of yourselves. And whatever happens in these coming days, October is soon to pass us. Halloween is about to represent Dia de los Muertos. Vámonos, amigos. So until then, take care of yourselves. Be cool. Stay hydrated. And if you have any more parties, drink responsibly. But until then, hasta la próxima. Ya. Mátane. Unless, we gotta do the little thingy, right? One more time. Hey, bring in the other guy. Whoop. Hola. Hey. You can hear me now. You can fix me now. Let me drown. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Can't escape this hell. And so many times I've tried, but I'm still caged inside. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. What if you can see right beside of me? No one ever changes anymore. I have become immediately a second real me. No matter how contagious anymore, I have become. I can't escape myself. So many times I've lied, but there's still rage inside. Money got me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. What if you can see the darkest side of me? No one would ever change this anymore. I have become immediately. It's not the real me. Somebody help me change this anymore. I have become. Somebody help me change this anymore. Somebody help me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Somebody wake me from this nightmare. I can't escape this hell. Send home. I'm home. I'm home. So what if you can see me? Look inside of me. No one would ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal. This animal I have become. That was the one. Full moons, am I right? Only emo on the weekends. What? Only emo on the weekends. Shirobaj. Matane. Swing song. Everything about you. Why do I love you? You hate everything about me. Why do you love me? Matane hamden desu. Matane osu. Every time we lie awake, after every bit we took, all the feeling that I get, but I still don't miss you yet. Only when I stop to think about it. Bye.